I'm the sidewalk mayor. I talk to people on the sidewalk, in the parking lot of Kmart, at restaurants, at Harris Hardware. I'm there. Proud to be there. Want to be there, because this is where I live. This is the community I live in. I'm proud to be the mayor of these people of this community.
Okay.
Did you flash a time card at me? Because I want to know if my money can yield some time to me. Go ahead, John, here.
Next question. Do you believe certain areas of the city receive too much attention while other areas are neglected?
Well, I heard questions about infrastructure, and my good friend Rodney Locks, who has served on city council for 16 years, when I came on council, he had looked at a grant and participated in a grant that brought almost $1.75 million and to our community, and it was called the Rosenwald Grant. That section of town clearly had neglected infrastructure, but I'll tell you something, the infrastructure we have today is the best that has been in years and years. We didn't just start on it 2 or 3 years ago. We've got a good city manager, but he just took up what city council put in place. You know, the most frustrating thing for me is people say sometimes, where's the money? Well, it's underground, you can't see it. But we've got great infrastructure. We've got great water and sewer capability and capacity. And we have the ability to bring in new users, whether it be in the form of small industry, small jobs, clean jobs, green jobs. We've got that ability. And our infrastructure is good, it's healthy. We continue to repair. And I think in the past there have been places that have been neglected, but we're on job, we're on spot, we're going to fix it, we're going to do it right, and we're going to spend the people of not only our community, but actually people in our state, because we get a lot of grants for doing it right. We've gotten a lot of grants from Raleigh, from the Clean Water Trust Fund, in the Rural Center, and we're on task.
Okay. As a follow-up then, what projects would you like to see undertaken and possibly completed in the next 4 years?
I want to see a sidewalk down Brevard Street. I know that there's a portion of Brevard Street that the city stops and the county begins. You know, when I first ran in 1999, over 14 years ago, I was pretty naive. I went door to door and I was asking people, well, what does your community need? And there was a lot of people in the Gallimore Road area that said, we need a sidewalk down Gallimore Road. And I thought, well, that'd be easy. Just get a shovel, throw some gravel out there and pave it. It took about 10 years. It took a lot of dollars. And it took some private investment too. We raised $50,000 in private investment. Got $250,000 in grant funds from the school, Safe Routes to Schools grant. We need to be more walkable. I want us to be a walkable community. I want us to have, we've got a great bike system. We've got over 5 miles. We had 0 whenever I came in. But there was councils before me whose shoulders I stand on that helped bring about this good result. But I do believe we need to have a safe pathway that connects the music center, which is one of our star assets in our community. And we've got many, and I hope I can talk about more of them. But I see that as a project. And of course, we truthfully have been behind on paving. Because at a time when we needed to pave more roads, guess what happened to $100 million of payroll in our community? It exited. And we didn't think it was a good strategy to raise taxes on people without jobs to do that. But we are behind, but we're catching up. Look at today's Transylvania Times newspaper to see a new road that we've paved.
Okay. Next question. With some building facades continuing to age and aesthetics in some areas diminishing, what do you recommend to correct these problems?
Well, you know, it's not what you recommend is you tell people the truth. Brevard is a good place to invest in. It's a great place to invest in. Maybe, matter of fact, more so than the most out there. Brevard is a good, vibrant place. I know that there are empty storefronts in downtown. I don't like it either. But the truth is this, it's not city government's responsibility to go in and negotiate somebody's lease for them. It's not their responsibility for the taxpayer to improve private property. If they want to invite the city to be a part of it, we could look at some grants, but if they're not available due to, quite honestly, the difficult economy that we're in and emerging out of, why, you just let people see the good things that are already going on, such as festivals. I heard a lot about festivals. Festivals is about marketing. That's the reason that this past week we were in our state magazine. That is the reason that we're in magazines in Toronto, Canada. That is the reason WRAL TV station, the CBS affiliate in the Raleigh-Durham, even Fayetteville area, is running commercials about Brevard, because it is, and I'm biased, it's better than most. We are above average. We're above average, and if you don't think that, then you do not belong in a leadership position.
Okay. Last question.
Last question.
Got 5. I know, just get warmed up.
Pass off on plate. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Are there any misperceptions of the city that need to be corrected? And if so, how do you plan to correct them?
Well, you know, I've heard some things, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not in love with zoning. I understand its responsibility, and I'm glad we have it. A lot of people really just fall all over the UDO. Well, it's the UDO. The UDO is our enemy. And there have been some things in the UDO we have changed. It's a very flexible document, much more so than the previous document that we had. It has annual built-in reviews that if there is something unfair, let me know. I will fight for you. But the only problem is whenever somebody, and I hear this often, they say, well, the UDO is just terrible. Give me a specific. Well, I don't know any yet, but I know it's just terrible. Sure, tell me what they are. I'll get back to you. I think the perception is that Brevard is not business friendly. It is business friendly. It's business friendly. Walk up and down Main Street. Look at the customers. Talk to the business owners that have taken their life's investment, invested in what they have. They could be anywhere maybe, but they chose Brevard. They chose Transylvania County. And I want you to know that the city staff is there to offer excellent customer service. If they're not doing that, you let me know. And I'll bring it to the attention of the decision makers. Brevard is a good place. Better than most. It's a place you want an investment. Make your life investment. Make your emotional investment. We are a stellar community. We are a community of choice. I could, you know, most of you know this. Most of you could probably be anywhere else. Many of you could be in probably a dozen places, but you chose this place. I don't blame you. It's a good place to be.
Okay. You have 2 minutes.
Well, wait a minute, I gotta find my paper. This is the closing. Here it is.
Okay.
Number one, thank you for being a listener tonight. Thank you for that. And I'm talking to the folks on the radio right now, whether you're around your kitchen table or in your automobile. I'm looking at a group of very happy people, I think, here tonight because they're involved in their community. You know, I've heard several opinions tonight on how to best direct our community and how to drive it into the future. I use the metaphor of drive because driving requires a responsible navigator to make necessary turns, to go at the right speed, to make sure that you do not run off the road or certainly not turn over or crash. And you know what? There's too much at stake in this election to not select who you think is the best leader. I do not want to be mayor forever, but I do want to live in Brevard forever. I just do. I want the best for Brevard. And if that means I'm selfish, then I guess I'm selfish. And I want you to be selfish as well. I want you to be demanding. You should be demanding. You should want more than just average or par from your community. You want above average, and that brings about a sense of excellence that we all work toward. I want Brevard to be the best destination for new investment that will bring about secure jobs and makes families consumers of homes, consumable goods and products. I want Brevard to be the safest community anywhere, safe from crime, safe roads, safe to walk down sidewalks for families to enjoy. I want Brevard, as we know it, to be exactly what it is, and it is the gem of Western North Carolina. I have expectations. I think you should have them as well. If I can summarize in just the remaining few seconds that I know that I have, I want you to rely on practical reasoning and experience of the next leader that you choose. Don't let anybody fool you. Experience will be necessary to drive Brevard to the next level. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. I urge all of you, I urge every one of you to vote in this municipal election. I think it's important, and I want you to vote for the person that has a servant's heart attitude, because you deserve it. Thank you for letting me be a part of this great event tonight. Thank you, John.
Thank you. You're welcome.